Hey guys, gals, and morons. This here's bedroom audio. Uh, got these in just a while ago. These are the 500s. I won't be using these till I upgrade the power in the car. Hell, I don't know if I might just leave the motherfucker alone. I like the way it sounds. Nah, we will bump the power up, but these are my boss is texting the fuck out of me. These are 500 amp, man. 32-volt 500 amp bus. So these are lower voltage, but it's not gonna make no difference, guys. It's 500 amps, 500 amps. I'll make a fuck. So they'll fit on those same. They're built just alike. That's some pretty thick metal in there. It's kind of weird though. These things will hold that much power. I mean, man, that's just crazy. But there's 6 in there. I wonder why. Because I'm going to have 6 inputs or it'll be 2 inputs to each amp. Yeah. When we change the amps. We're going to change them sometime. I don't know. I'll just leave motherfuckers alone. It's got plenty of power. I mean, I don't know. We're going to change amps and shit just to change them. Is it going to pick up a whole lot? I don't know. Sometimes when you do go with those amps, you can actually turn the amp down, still get real good power, and your THD will be better. You know what I'm saying? That's just the way it works. It's better to have clean power as to have your amps cranked wide ass open and have a little bit of dirt in it. That's just the way it works. You'll also get better cone control. And you're actually better off to run. I mean, I know a lot of people don't want to do this, but you're better off to run your shit at 2 ohms than you are at 1 or half an ohm. Yep. True story. So you actually get better cone control. I've done this test. I've done it. I've already been there. The sound quality is going to be better on the same subs at 2 ohms than it would be at half an ohm. Doesn't create heat. No. And distortions will be minimal. Guys, just listen to me, man. I know a lot of people don't want to listen. They think I'm a nobody, which is why we put nobody on the car. We're nobodies, but I'm not a nobody. I'm playing retarded and letting you think all this nobody shit. You just need to pay attention. But these things right here, they do not come. I mean, they come from AliExpress, but it's so funny that they come from New York. This is where it came from. SpeedX in New York. JFK. But yeah, this come out of New York, and it took oh my god, how many days it take? 20 something days. So I don't understand that. It sounds to me like, well, I know I do understand it. They're making money. This is probably another place that's ordering the shit like a distributor, getting it in there, and then they turn around and sell it to me. They're the middle person, and they're really not doing anything. They're kind of like a contractor subbing to a subcontractor. The contractor really don't do shit, and the sub's doing all the work, but the contractor makes a little bit of money. That's probably what this is. That's the way they do shit in New York. What I was going to tell you about, guys, is I had went to the Ford place to get that Scion inspected today, and that's where I always go to get all the cars done. And you know, I pull up in that old piece of shit, man. But everybody knows it's got a system and stuff in it, and there were 3. I mean, I know this sounds like a lie, but this is true shit. There were 3 very, very, very good looking women in there. Now, they all were in different cars. They were getting their shit done or whatever, there to pick their cars up. None of them had rings on their fingers. They were all single. They were probably in their Uh, late 20s, early 30s. Now, these are good looking fucking chicks, but what they're looking for is that money. Now, I pull up in that damn little shitty Scion car, and I'm not no damn beauty queen, but I'm not an ugly guy. And I've been with 12s, man, on a scale of 1 to 10, and I've kicked them out of this house many times. Get the fuck out. You know, I don't care. You act stupid and be a bitch, and we'll tell you to leave. I don't care how good you look, how good you look naked. I've bought 4 sets of fake titties. You're not going to show me something I ain't never seen. So when I get out of the car, you know, these people don't even pay me any attention. No, none whatsoever. They're sitting there at a desk waiting on a lady that helps me. She just turned 69. Her name's Terry. And we're friends, and she's drove my other Shelbys I had home and shit. Me and her husband used to go gold mining and stuff. Cool ass people. And she's an old Yankee woman, but she's a redneck Yankee. Hell yeah. And cool as fuck. But anyway, she told me happy birthday. Our birthdays aren't far apart and shit. And I said, well, I appreciate it, which it's not today. It was already been. We talked about all that. And them 3 girls are standing there waiting, you know, on their cars and shit. You know, they're just staring at their fucking telephones and pecking away and all this shit. One of the girls that works there said, hey, can I get one of them hair tricks? And they said, yeah. I said, yeah, hell yeah, I don't give a fuck. And them other girls looking around like, what's a hair trick? Well, she goes over there and all the people start coming around, the mechanics and shit. And the damn service manager said, oh, fuck, let me go take my hearing aids out. God damn, it's going to hurt my ears. He went in his shop and shut the door. Me and him was buddies and shit. And I turned that motherfucker on and that girl's hair stood straight out, you know. And we were all laughing and shit. And them other girls just sitting there staring like, what the fuck is that? You know, still wasn't interested. And this is the way, man, not all girls, but they're about 90% is just like this. Not paying me no attention, you know. I'm older than them, but it don't make a fuck, man. That press secretary lady's 27 years old and she's got a baby and married to a man that's 59 years old. Yes, true story. So I'm not that old. So I was sitting there going, fuck. This is just the way they are, you know. And I'm in that little shitty XB. Well, I go back up to Terry's desk and she says, you know, it's just so weird watching you get out of that damn thing when you got all them nice ass cars at home. And Tommy said, he had came back out and Tommy said, hell yeah, goddamn Shelbys and all kinds of shit. And I swear to you, man, you cannot make this shit up. All 3 of them bitches put their phones down and started looking my directions and would not take their fucking eyes off my ass. I'm telling you, man, it was like stink on a shit, a fresh pile of shit. They were just surrounded. And each one was trying to move over a little bit closer because it was a long table. They're moving closer and closer. And it was just, and Terry was like, I can't believe somebody's got as much money as you got, you driving that piece of shit. And I said, I like that fucking thing. And they just kept getting closer and closer. And I was like, you know what? And she said, well, why do you drive it? I said, because I like it. And another thing, and I wanted to make damn sure they heard this shit. I said, you know, and I want to make sure a girl wants me for me and not what I'm driving. All 3 of them girls put their head down. I'm not even bullshitting. And I told her right in front of them, I said, you know what, Terry? I said, Have I gotten laid from cars before? Oh, absolutely. I don't have a filter, guys. I don't. I said absolutely. Yes. That's how I met my fucking ex-wife. By a goddamn Mustang, a fucking car. True story. And I was sitting there thinking, I said, and that's why I drive that thing, Terry. That way they'll want me for me and not the car. The cars and the money's just a bonus. I said, you don't know how nice it is if I can drive this piece of shit right here and a girl that looks real good. And they all knew they looked good. I said, and a girl looks real good and comes up and is being nice to you. And then y'all say you go out on a date and that piece of shit, and then you pull up in your driveway and I open up the door. Or I take her around storage units and show her the cars. Oh, fuck, they fall in love just like that. Because they're like, God damn, this motherfucker's got it going on, and I didn't know that. This is, guys, it does, listen, just because you drive a nice vehicle don't mean that girl loves you for you. Hell no, you better pay attention to what I'm telling you. And when that money stops flowing, they'll turn on you in a fucking minute. So if you got a girlfriend that you met because of your car, it ain't going to last. No, it will not last. Fuck no. I was with the same one 19 fucking years, so don't tell me it'll last. No, it won't last. And on top of that, she thought she was going somewhere where there was more money. But that ended up not being true. She didn't know what I had. No, I'm glad I never told her. That's what people don't get, man, is they look at what someone drives, or, like these people with these base cars that's got, these real immaculate base cars, and they're painted up beautiful and spend $100,000 on them. But that's all the fuck they got. They live in a goddamn shitty ass house or a fucking apartment and ain't got shit. No, they ain't got a damn thing. But they got people thinking that they do. And they'll go get them some coochie from it and all that shit. And then the girl finds out, well, goddamn, this is all they got. Yeah. So be careful when you're surrounded by today's ladies. They're all not like this, but 90% are. And that's why they're single. That's why they don't have no rings on their fingers. They're waiting on somebody to help them with that. That means money. I'm making the younger crowd aware. The older guys know what the fuck I'm saying is true. It's 100% true. So be aware of your surroundings, what's going on around you. And don't think that you got that pretty lady because you look good or you got a good personality. They think you got money and they like cars. Women love cars, man. Hell yeah. The ugliest motherfucker in the world can get the hottest chick on the planet with a car. Yeah. I've seen it a million times. I've been there. I'm not ugly, but I've been there. I've got some, oh God, I was like, man, that's above my grade, you know what I mean? And I'd still get them. Yeah, we call cutting them. That's what we call it. Us old guys like me, we call cutting it. Say, man, did you cut that thing? Be like, hell yeah, I cut it. So if you girls hear a guy in the background saying, man, you gonna cut that later on, they don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Yeah, cutting it's when you gonna get it, you're gonna tear it apart. You're gonna cut it in half. That's what cutting it is. It's you cutting right down the middle. You guys take care. Have a great day. These do come from AliExpress, but they come from New York. Maybe you can look up that company, Speed X. Maybe don't look my address up. Look their address up right there. And maybe they'll sell them direct. I don't know. You guys take care and have a great day. See you.